Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 133. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 6th of August 2014, beginning as usual with my first 5, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Invincible number 113. The Massacre Continues. Series writer Robert Kirkman joked about the current storyline during the Skybound panel at San Diego Comic-Con. Quote, "A few years ago we had an arc called Everybody Dies where no one died, and now we have an arc not called that where everyone's dying. We like to keep everyone guessing." Close quote. He went on to share that issue number 113 introduces a major new character, saying, quote, "The status quo of Invincible is that the status quo is constantly changing." Close quote. Number 2, we have Superior Spider-Man number 32. Superior Spider-Man kicks off the Edge of Spider-Verse, extra-sized monumental issue including a story drawn by living legend Adam Kubert. How is Superior Spider-Man still around? Where is he? What is he doing? The road to Spider-Verse starts here. Co-writer Christus Gage explained the quote-unquote return of Superior Spider-Man. Quote, "There's time travel involved. Sharp-eyed readers will remember a period in Superior Spider-Man number 19 when Otto vanished in a flash of temporal energy. Now we'll find out where he went and what happened." Close quote. Marvel editor Nick Lowe added, quote, "Superior Spider-Man number 32 kicks off the Edge of Spider-Verse. The road to the biggest spider event of all time begins here. Superior Spider-Man finds himself in 2099, finally a time where science and intellectual advancement is at least closer to his genius. He needs to find his way home, but things get a little more complicated than that." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Detective Comics number 34. Batman is faced with an unsolvable mystery, a dead friend, an unknown assailant, and a drug called Icarus. Has the world's greatest detective finally been outmatched? Series co-writer Brian Buccellato told Comic Vine about the book at San Diego Comic-Con.
It's been amazing. I mean, Francis and I really wanted to tell the detective side of Detective Comics. We felt on some level it had been underrepresented. And we've just found it to be very interesting and a good launching point, because with Batman Eternal and Batman doing Zero Year, we felt the big giant stories were being done, but like sort of the grounded street level stories were not. So we sort of latched onto Harvey Bullock and a murder mystery, and we've been off running.
At number 4, we've got Legendary Star-Lord number 2. Peter's captured by a bounty hunter who may have a strange connection to his past. Can Peter and the bounty hunter make amends before he's fed to a giant alien? And who is the mysterious Mr. Knife, and why is he so interested in Star-Lord? Series writer Sam Humphries described the connection the book has to the Guardians of the Galaxy series. Quote, "The relationship between legendary Star-Lord and Guardians of the Galaxy is no different from the relationship between Iron Man and Avengers. Iron Man is a part-time Avenger, but full-time Tony Stark and Iron Man. Same thing here. Peter Quill is a part-time Guardian of the Galaxy, but he's full-time legendary Star-Lord. The Guardians are such an important part of his life, not just his compatriots, but also his closest friends, so we'll see the influence they've had on his life and the way he thinks, and how he attacks problems and looks at the galaxy, even when the characters themselves don't show up. It's definitely a solo book for Peter. It's not just a spin-off. It's not just a junior title to Guardians. That said, with so many things happening in the cosmic end of the Marvel Universe, I think, without spoiling anything, we can say that there'll be a lot of cross-pollination between these books that's going to lead to something big in the near future." Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man number 4, the spider story everyone is talking about. Spidey versus Spidey. What more do you need? After fans' acceptance of Miles over a couple of years, it seems likely to have contributed to series writer Brian Michael Bendis speaking out at San Diego Comic-Con about overreacting to changes in comic books. Quote, "I do think that in comics, it's almost our obligation to push and pull and try new things. I said online, people are kind of upset about Thor or Captain America and things that are happening. I remind them politely that the best things you remember about your favorite character, in the history of this character that you're so worried about holding on to, the best things that history are the craziest things that some creators decided to do. Granted, some of your least favorite things are the craziest things that some decide to do, but you don't know until it's all over what the things are going to be." Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Rocket Raccoon number 2, Framed. The most notorious raccoon in the galaxy has been arrested and falsely accused of murder. The real killer? An imposter Procyon that seems to be one step ahead of Rocket at every turn. Now it's up to Rocket and a certain someone from Planet X to find the truth. At number 7, we have Black Widow number 9, friend from foe. In the pursuit of Zayok, Black Widow finds the Punisher, and they're trapped in an abandoned oil tanker rigged to explode with Crossbones and his Skull Squad. Don't miss the other side of the action-packed crossover event in The Punisher number 9. Number 8, we've got, you guessed it, Punisher number 9. In the middle of the Pacific, the Punisher finds himself fighting alongside, or against, Black Widow for access to a deadly criminal network. But the clock is ticking. Will Frank and Natasha be able to complete their mission before they're taken down by their enemies or each other? See the rest of the story in Black Widow number 9. At number 9, we've got Grayson number 2. Grayson digs deeper into the mysterious organization known as Spiral and learns more about his new partner, Helena Bertinelli. And at number 10, we've got Tech Jacket number 2. Tech Jacket's newest adventure brings him in touch with the Colossal, but is this massive ship the vanguard of an alien invasion or something more sinister? Your mind, prepare to be blown. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Action Comics number 34, and now Last Sun, the penultimate chapter in the Superman Doom Saga as Earth lies in ruins and everyone's survival is in question. Next, we have Action Comics Annual number 3. As an epic space battle rages above the Earth, how will humanity and the other heroes of the DC Universe cope with this day of doom? We've also got Batman Essentials, The Dark Knight Returns Special Edition number 1 for $1. Batman's 75th anniversary is here, and to celebrate, DC Entertainment is offering a series of promotionally priced specials that capture the Dark Knight's greatest moments. Frank Miller's all-time classic adventure kicks things off with this excerpt from the original Dark Knight Returns number 1. Next, we have Batman Eternal number 18. Batgirl, Batwoman, and Jason Todd race to find evidence that may save Commissioner Gordon. And we've got Superman Wonder Woman Annual number 1. Only an annual could contain this chapter of Superman Doomed. It's an all-out assault by the heroes of Earth, superpowered or not, on the god of war, Wonder Woman, who's leading a charge against all manner of alien attackers. The monstrous Superman smashes through everything, friend or foe, as his de-evolution reaches a critical stage. It all leads to their best hope, the Phantom Zone. From Marvel Comics, we've got Miracleman number 9. The battle with Gargunza has ended. The birth of Miracleman and Liz Moran's baby. And a shocking surprise ending in this groundbreaking issue, including material originally presented in Miracleman number 9, plus bonus content. Note, this issue will be polybagged. Next, we have Moon Knight number 6. A threat from the first issue is back to cause problems for Moon Knight. This mysterious person is the new Black Spectre, and it doesn't mean anything good for the protector of night travelers. Don't miss the conclusion of Warren Ellis, Declan Shalvey, and Jordi Belair. We've also got New Avengers number 22. This is the very end. The Illuminati shatters under an exploding planet. Next, we have She-Hulk number 7. The return of superstar artist Javier Pulido, guest starring Hank Pym. She-Hulk, Hellcat, and Giant Man team up to save one of Jen's office mates, but what else does Hank Pym have at stake, and what isn't he telling them? And we've got Thanos the Infinity Revelation hardcover. There's an imbalance in the universe, and since his latest return from Oblivion, Thanos himself feels incomplete. Now the so-called Mad Titan would put both wrongs right. The revelatory waters of the Infinity Well lead Thanos on a new quest, with a once-sworn enemy at his side. A crusade that will bring confrontation with the Silver Surfer and the galaxy's mightiest heroes, the Annihilators. An odyssey that will change everything. Cosmic Maestro Jim Starlin returns to his signature character in a tale of death and rebirth that will transform the Marvel Universe once more. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Captain Victory and the Galactic Rangers number 1. Joe Casey is one of the industry's most popular writers, having written for Marvel and DC, from Uncanny X-Men to Superman and many more best-selling titles, and most recently created and writes the acclaimed Sex series from Image Comics. Now he's tackling one of Jack Kirby's greatest creations, Captain Victory, and this story will blow your mind. Out of the hell of a cosmic firefight, Captain Victory is launched into an epic adventure that spans both space and time. All your favorites are here, as well as new enemies to face. Your new favorite cosmic comic book has finally arrived. We've also got Terminal Hero number 1, with Shade the Changing Man, Ecstatics, Dupe, and of course Hellblazer under his belt. Peter Milligan is now taking on Terminal Hero. Rory Fletcher is a good man. The problem is he's dying of an inoperable brain tumor, and then his best friend introduces him to the mysterious treatment Q. This strange and forbidden therapy might just save Rory's life, but its nightmarish side effects could make him question just how good he really is and just how much he really does want to live. From IDW Publishing, we've got Star Trek New Visions Volume 2, Time's Echo. John Byrne continues his new Star Trek photo novel adventures. In Core, from the raging heart of the galaxy comes a message that summons the crew of the Starship Enterprise on their most bizarre and dangerous mission, a message sent by their own captain 10 centuries earlier. From Image Comics, we've got Alex plus Ada number 8. As restrictions tighten on androids, Ada feels unsure about her place in Alex's life in the world. Next, we have Genius number 1 of 5. Genius issues number 1 through 5 weekly throughout August. The winner of Top Cow's pilot season makes its triumphant return to print. What if the greatest military mind of our generation was born to a people who are already supremely conditioned to wage war, who know nothing but violence since birth, and must continually adapt to new predators in order to survive? What if the second coming of Alexander the Great, of Genghis Khan, of Napoleon, of Patton? What if it was a teenage girl from South Central LA named Destiny? And what if she decides to secede 3 blocks of the hood from the Union? Who's going to take it back from her and her army of gangbangers? Who can? From writers Mark Bernardin and Adam Freeman and rising star artist Afua Richardson comes a harrowing action-packed tale of a city that declares war on a brilliant young woman pushed to the edge. And we've got Imperial number 1 of 4. Mark is 2 weeks out from making the biggest decision of his life. But which big decision will it be? Taking the ring of the woman of his dreams and becoming a married man? Or taking the crown of the world's only superhero and becoming the next Imperial? Stephen T. Siegel teams with Mark Dos Santos for a buddy book with commitment issues. And from Valiant Entertainment, we've got Harbinger Omegas number 1 of 3. It matters not how man dies, but how he lives. The team has been shattered and a teenage renegade lies dead, a victim of the Harbinger Foundation led by Omega-powered psionic Toya Harada. This is the story of what happens next. Out of the ashes of Harbinger 25, find out what happens when the full extent of Harada's secret empire is exposed to the public, and just how the surviving members of the Renegades recover from a catastrophic loss that has changed their lives, their team, and their destinies forever. Out in trades, we've got Invincible Ultimate Collection Volume 9 hardcover. Invincible's battle with dinosaurs kicks off the start of a very tumultuous time in Mark Grayson's life. Collects Invincible number 97 to 108. Next, we have Trillium trade paperback. The amazing 8-issue miniseries by award-winning writer-artist Jeff Lemire is collected in this mind-blowing new collection. Two souls separated by thousands of years and hundreds of millions of miles will fall in love and, as a result, bring about the end of the universe. Even though reality is unraveling all around them, nothing can pull them apart. This isn't just a love story, it's the last love story ever told. And we've got Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale Yellow, Blue, and Gray hardcover. Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale's classic color masterpieces are collected in one lush, oversized hardcover. Blind acrobat Daredevil was inspired to heroism by the example of his prizefighter father, but Matt Murdock's a young man in love with Karen Page. Relive Daredevil's heartwarming, heartbreaking debut. Then Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy want to spend the rest of their lives together, but first Spider-Man must run the gauntlet of his greatest foes. And finally, no matter how powerful the Incredible Hulk becomes, his heart can still be shattered by Betty Ross, the daughter of his greatest enemy. Join the Eisner Award-winning team of Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale for a touching, insightful, and gorgeous look into the early days of Marvel's most popular heroes. Collecting Daredevil Yellow number 1 through 6, Spider-Man Blue number 1 through 6, and Hulk Gray 1 through 6. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available. I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers. You can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. Of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.